But you know, it's a life funny though, because I know people where exercise, eat healthy, all gone vegan, deprive themselves of fish and chicken and all kind of meat and you know the delicacies in life and these things. And right now them people are sick like dog and I get ready for dead and left earth. And then I know people will put 10 spoons of sugar in a 1 cup of coffee and smoke cigarette with them, have them coffee every morning and smoke cigarette right through the day. And them man then in them 70s and go to them 80s. It's life here, sir. Anyway, I know that's what we come to talk about this morning. Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. I am here with a cup of mint tea with some honey in it, because that's my style. A little bit of honey. I don't like too much sweets. I'm more of a Cersei man. Bitter. Anyhow, watch me. So, I was looking for this story. This Vybz Kartel needs to be kicked off this pedestal, children's advocate urges kind of thing. The first thing I said to myself is, every time they want to establish themselves or nothing on going for them draw for Adidja Palmer name, aka Vybz Kartel. We know that already. Before we go any further, let me say this. Please enter this video with an open mind. This is the type of video that gives the Vybz Kartel haters a whole lot of teeth, because them feel say now them can bite in upon this. But I am here for you, and please remember that SouFLoTV is a starch Vybz Kartel advocate. You don't see me robbing people, you don't see me killing nobody, you don't see me selling no drugs. I am a very responsible father. I take care of all my children, and I am very uplifting to my brothers and sisters in my community and to my community as a global community at large. Alright? All them thing there is the part of Vybz Kartel that others need to emulate if you're going to emulate something. None of them are perfect. Anyhow, the confirmation of convicted murder Vybz Kartel as the undisputed role model for children who were in conflict with the law has left Diane Gordon Harrison, Jamaica's children's advocate and national rapporteur on trafficking in persons, deeply disturbed. Now, let me say something first. Vybz Kartel answer man. You see how me do that? Answer man. Him answer, you know. And we're going to get into what he had to say. But first, let's hear what she has to say, because the argument have two sides. So, she told Sunday's Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Christians at the Knutsford Court Hotel, New Kingston, that a study conducted by the Office of the Children's Advocate among girls and boys who were either charged or accused formally of having committed an offense had revealed these findings. What findings? That Kartel was their #1 role model. The prayer breakfast was centered around the theme, Save Our Boys, Save Our Nation. I have a whole lot to say. Me I go read on. Rated as dancehall's greatest lyricist in 2014, Kartel, whose name is Adidja Palmer, along with 3 other men, we already know the story, was convicted for the death of Clive Lizard Williams, and he was sentenced to life in prison and stipulations that he serves 35 years before qualifying for parole. Now, Kartel has always maintained his innocence, and he is actually fighting that in appeal, right? Which the 3-panel judge them go on like say they are God, and all powers of the universe lies within them. So they are dragging their feet and I draw out this thing, but that's where it's at right now. This is the person they saw as the be-all and end-all of what you need to strive to be like. If you stop and just dissect for a moment, I'm sure, let me say something before I go any further. I am absolutely sure that these children did not say that this is the person that we see miss. This is the person I see as the end-all and be-all of everything to strive to be like. I'm sure that's not what the kids said. But of course, she's on her political agenda and she's going to be putting it this way, and she's on her religious agenda, passing around that offering plate. Because imagine being discussed at a Christian conference and you are the quote-unquote enemy. You have been made to be the devil in appearance. Anyhow, she said, if you stop and just dissect for a moment a cross-section of the type of lyrics that are contained in Mr. Palmer's music, certainly, as a parent, that's not the kind of music my children would be exposed to. Not if I have anything to do with it. Alright, I am sure she's not talking about the 10 songs, and I will attach that video to the end of this video, because I did a video that said here are 10 Vybz Kartel songs that they do not want us to listen to. The thing about the 10 songs is there's not one curse word in them. They're also, within the song, he has woven in self-confidence. He has woven in the teaching of black history. He has woven in bucking the system, basically waking people up of a certain class to say, listen, this thing not set for we, right? So you have to find your way out of this. And I can show you a way out instead of going their traditional route. They don't like that, because the system is designed a certain way and you must fall within the lines. Anyhow, she said that this is the person the kids saw as being the end all of what they wanted to be, to strive to be like in life. And the content of his music is certainly nothing she would want her children to listen to. And so we have to ask ourselves the question, who are the role models that are setting the examples for our children? She said, Gordon Harrison warned the Jamaican culture of violence would go unabated if children, particularly boys, were fed a constant diet of violence. She urged church, school, and community stakeholders to inculcate in boys the value of self-restraint and to teach them conflict resolution skills. Kartel sings about self-restraint and conflict resolution skills, you know. But if you don't listen to his music and you are one of them that has been puppeteered, that you are one of them that has been brainwashed into thinking that everything he puts out is evil, then you're going to always miss the message. Anyhow, we're encouraging them to know that when to walk away. We're encouraging to have meaningful discussions. Are we even teaching them how to communicate, how to understand, to talk through issues without physically reacting whenever there is a difficult situation? She asked of the audience. Gordon Harrison urged parents and others to seek out timely, sustained intervention for boys who are often both the victims and the perpetrators of crime. Boys are also featuring prominently as victims of human trafficking. The national rapporteur in trafficking of persons said, emphasizing that many breaches were occurring in open view. Once they are sent to somebody, kept in a place, transported to another place for the purpose of exploitation, that's human trafficking, she said. Now, before I read the Vybz Kartel response, let me just say this. It is foul as hell that this lady even associate this man's name with human trafficking. But I see her agenda. Now, like I said, Vybz Kartel did answer, and here's the answer without further ado. Vybz Kartel says, Dear Miss, obviously in it to win it. While you're fooling some duncehead people with this concerned child advocate facade, let me tell you something. I've been in location loading, like that. I've been in location loading 9 years now. And guess who takes care of my kids? Me and their mothers. Not child advocates, not entertainers, and certainly not the corrupt neo-colonial system that you are a part of. Me and their mothers. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because that's what real men do. And their baby mothers do. Laughing face, laughing face. Plus, my kids are a handful, so I can't help you to raise waste man and waste gal picnic. That's not my job. Since we're on the subject of kids though, let's talk about the 100,000 children who graduate high school every year in Jamaica, but because you and your Colombos them treat public funds like it's their personal piggy bank, because una sold out and trade out with belly, and because deals have been made to keep the people a certain way, I highly doubt that there are even 50,000 legal jobs available annually. Was just thinking to myself the other day that people like you don't care about kids. It's just a career for you people. Write a few reports, do a few interviews, call out the hottest artist at the time. In the 90s, it was Bounty. And before, it was Ninja Man and Shabba. And then collect a check. Artists, 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 artists. Never the two cousins them were Wolwy. Never the two cousins them were Wolwy. So, always the artist. And in there he put, you wanna know which sign them there? Always the artist. Never the legacy of JLP and PNP Cold War proxy conflicts that breed the subsequent gun culture. Always the artist. Never the fault of known dons who recruit from among the most impressionable and vulnerable of us. Never the don/politicians who openly run garrison communities. It's always the artist. Never the alcohol and tobacco and smoking paraphernalias that sold in the same shops as the cheese tricks and the sweeties. Never the fact that the crime is most common where the zinc fence and the sewage water and the poor people with nothing reside. Always the artist. Hey woman, I wanna fit their prison, you know. Where did he lie? Where did he lie? Listen, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. First of all, Mr. Big up to Vybz Kartel in the wish part of that because location loading and it was not revealed. It's so bad. But anyways, watch this. Where did he lie? These people have made it their point of blinding the masses to where when our greatest leaders emerge, when Christ came from among the crowds, what them do? Grab him and crucify him. Right? As soon as they were able to say a him that, grab him and crucify him. One of them brethren sell him out, don't? Him disciples sell him out. Same thing in our day and age now. When any great leader arise among us that are not a part of the cloth, he will be crucified. Alright? His character will be tarnished. And they tarnish your character first before they crucify you. That way, that is the strategy. Because you can't crucify somebody that everybody loves. There's going to be an uprising. So they have to tarnish you and work fervently at tarnishing your character. And then once your character is tarnished amongst the masses, then them can crucify you. That way when they crucify you, everybody can say, well, I him didn't mash up the place anyway, you know, because of him why crime and violence gone up. Bare violent lyrics, him infiltrate the minds of the youths and, you know, mash up the place and now teach the youth them nothing good and all these things. That is the badge they want to stick on Vybz Kartel, but it can't work. Not when there are intelligent people like us that are still out here, that take the time to listen to all of his music, not just one song where somebody send come gimme that say, yo, listen to that song here, full of slackness. Listen to that song here, beer bad word in there. And where is the love for the black child? Let's start out there with this lady. Have you listened to Where Is the Love for the Black Child from Vybz Kartel? Have you listened to that song? I encourage every one of you right now to go Google Where Is the Love for the Black Child, or YouTube Where Is the Love for the Black Child, Vybz Kartel. That's it. That's a start. And then find the rest of them that have absolutely no curse word and they're filled with uplifting messages. Anyhow, this part of this where him say, I love how he start with in it to win it, obviously, because this is what it is for them. They're always on that, what you call it now, the Ferris wheel, the political Ferris wheel. They're always trying to win something. They're not genuine, and they don't genuinely care about children. Child advocate, yeah, child advocate. The picnic them at Jamaica still get draw with. They're so vulnerable. I feel for Jamaican children. They're so vulnerable. Majority of them have been molested or are being abused or have been abused. Majority of Jamaican children have experienced some form of abuse. Not from Vybz Kartel music, but from the hands of adults. Adults around them that have sworn to protect them and provide for them. And that is the reality. And it's the system is set up in a way that majority of the times nothing is done, or very little is done. So these offenders repeat and repeat and repeat. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the average Jamaican child. Ask the average Jamaican adult. And they will tell you that they went through the same thing as well. And now them are adult and them are see the new generation of children going through the same thing, because there are no fundamental changes that are made within the system by people like this. We call themselves child advocate and put on some big badge title name. I don't even know what the hell they want to call her. And I talk about the artist, and Vybz Kartel should be kicked off a pedestal and all this stuff. This part, I will close the video in saying, this was profound in his answer. Check this out. The man said, since we're on the subject of kids though, let's talk about the 100,000 children who graduate high school every year in Jamaica, but because you and your Colombo them treat public funds as if it's your personal piggy bank, him brave enough to talk when enough we know, but we stay quiet about it. That's the thing. Treat public funds as if it's your personal piggy bank, because uno sold out and trade out with belly, and because deals have been made to keep the people a certain way. What deals? What deals? I highly doubt that there are 50,000 legal jobs available annually. Was just thinking to myself the other day that people like you don't care about the kids. It's just a career for you people. Write a few reports, do a few interviews, call out the hottest artists at the time. In the 90s it was Bounty, and before it was Ninja and Shabba. And then you collect a check. Artists, 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 artists. Always the artist. Never the two cousins them were whole we saw. He's talking about the two political parties, and none of them is no good, and we've said this before. But no one who claims to be scholarly or has a platform of some form ever come out and brave enough to say this on national media. None of them. And collect a check. Artists, artists, artists. Never the two cousins them were whole we saw. Always the artists. This is where it gets deep. Let me end this video with this. Never the legacy of JLP and PNP Cold War proxy conflicts that breed the subsequent gun culture. Always the artists. Never the fault of known dons who recruit from among the most impressionable and vulnerable of us. Never the Don/politicians who openly run garrisons. Communities who openly run garrison communities, it's always the artists. Never the alcohol and tobacco and the smoking paraphernalias that sold in the same shop as the cheese tricks and the sweetie. I can go further. I will say it's never the internet and all this foreign stuff that is flooding the kids' minds. All the violence and sex. You know, so if you have one smartphone right now, you can just, porn is free. You know, if you pay for porn again, you know. One time gone, people have to go buy a DVD or buy a tape, and you have your porn tape, and now, anybody, see them kids walking around with a phone, it's on there, and it's there for free. So we are talking about spoil up the kids them and tell them about sex. Forget that. They can watch it live every day. Them even make them own videos and upload it to the internet. But you know, still sit down there, act like y'all are blind and choose to follow these idiots blaming one person. Alright. Never the fact that the crime is most common where the zinc fence and the sewage water and the poor people them with nothing reside. Always the artist. Hey, woman, I only for their prison, you know. I'm not like, I them for their prison. And with that said, leave your comments in the comment section below, and I hopefully that you listened with an open mind. Alright, my grandmother always said, even an idiot can teach us something. So, for those of you who feel like, say, because, oh, I am highly educated and I dress in a suit and a tie to go to work, and I speak a certain way, and I don't use profanity, and that I am the best of the best that I cannot relate to, then come off on my platform. Alright? I'm out. Peace.